structured in such a way that encourages a balance. I'm talking for myself.
Yeah.
Okay, so because the test, the 2 days interval, I have to work on the assessment. What I do is the first day I try to go through it. Um, am I talking about the assessment? The course content itself rather.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
so we are given like 2 days. Yeah, so the first day I try to go through it. Sometimes I'm not able to start working on it immediately. In fact, most of the times it's like the second day I start going through the assessment, and I just try to ensure that once I go through the course content, I am able to take the assessment immediately, so I don't procrastinate. Yeah, so I'm somebody that works with deadline. I might I might not be able to start working on it immediately, but when I know that I have a deadline for 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
I will ensure that I submit like at least four. I mean, at most 4 p.m.
Yeah.
So even no matter what I'm doing, I try to just clear my table to just so to an extent I'm able to keep that balance. And as I mentioned earlier, the fact that there's the time, um, the allowance that we're given, it's giving me this kind of peace and opportunity to structure myself,
Yeah.
right, and work around it. So
So
that's
that's
how it has been for me.
all
So,
right.
so
Thank
we need to
thank
the boys.
you.
Sometimes I'm pressured though, but yeah, I'm telling you. Sometimes I'm really pressured. Like, let me just do this thing. Everybody's submitting, but yeah. But I just try to do it. Yeah, I'm getting results. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice one. Okay. So I think that makes a lot of sense, to look at being able to remind yourself that, oh, I have this deadline, and the number of days allows us to achieve. Now I'm thinking that thank God we did not take the route of every day as 30 days, because I feel it would not have made sense. So it makes sense this way. Good. All right. I would have loved to take one more person, but I will just skip it. So let's go to our score. Yeah. Let's look at what our scores have been for the past 5 quizzes. Okay, so I'll be sharing my screen. While my screen is coming up, um, I don't know, is there anybody that feels like they are having issues with the installation? If you feel you have an issue with the installation, you're not being able to install any of the editor or RDBMS for coding, you could just, you could raise your hand and I'll just take note of that. How many? Okay. How many? I thought you figured it. Okay, how many? I'll meet your mic and speak. I thought you figured it out in our last meeting.
Good evening, sir. Good evening,
I,
everybody. So I thought I did too, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
all right, no problem then. Let's have a call tomorrow regarding to
Okay.
that. All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
Thank you too. Okay, any other person you having an issue with the installer, with the what's the word? With the editor, whether it's MySQL or Postgres, but you just know that you try to run it and you're not getting what you have in mind. Nobody? Great. All right. So I think we've passed that level then. So it means that I'm confident enough now to, expect that the data sets I put in the material are solid enough and you guys are like truly taking that time to practice. All right. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. All right. So let me know when you can see my screen. I'm about to present our score sheets for the past 8 quizzes, which is the past 5 days. Yeah. So let's zoom into the sheets and then let's put this on. Yep. Can everyone see my screen? All right.
Yeah,
So,
let's see.
oh, good. Now, So if you look at our first quiz, you notice that some of us have our scores. Let me zoom out a bit, it's too close. Some of us have our score or took the quiz twice. Now, it's not bad to take the quiz twice, okay? It's not bad to take the quiz twice. But what I would do, I allow multiple selection of quiz. All right, it's intentional. I'll scroll down the word. I know some of us are wanting to go down the document. All right. So now, I don't want you to look at this score as, oh, I'm not getting 100, I'm not getting 90. No, 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 no. That's not the whole idea for doing this. The whole idea for doing this is to help us see what the assessments look like. Now, if you've taken the quiz twice and you have your score coming in twice, just know that I'm going to take the second one and I will delete the first one. That does not mean that you should stop taking the quiz twice or three times or how many times you take it. Okay. It just means that when I'm inserting the record, I'm taking the second quiz, the one that you've done second, and I'm leaving the first one. So I believe the first one is just an attempt. That's for those that take it twice. I believe the first time is just an attempt to, see what you can do. And then you now see your score and feel like, okay, let me take it again. So lucky for you, if you take it again and your score drop, that's I don't know what to say about that. But then when I take your score into the full assessment, I take your second score because I believe that the second score is the one you've taken with the intention to, second trials or just give me another chance, and then you have another chance. So that's what I would do while I am doing this. All right. So don't feel bad if I'm just showing you this so that you can see what your score look like in the first. So let's summarize that. In the first quiz, a number of us really had the topic going well, all right, in our first quiz. Then when we got to the second quiz, let's see what our assessment looked like in the second quiz. Right. So just stay close to your screen, okay? So when we get to the second quiz, I think we still actually did well. A number of us still did well with the second quiz. So we have some of us also having duplicates 3 times, 4 times. But just remember that if I see 4 times, I'm going to take the last one and I'll delete others. Okay. Just so you can know what your assessment will look like over time. All right. So you can know what your assessment will look like over time. All right. So the second quiz was actually very interesting. And so far, I think we both our first and second attempt have not been bad. Yeah, that's not been really bad. I'm still impressed with our progress so far. All right. This does not mean you can't take your quiz more than twice or no, you're allowed to do whatever you've been doing. Just be more intentional when you learn. Be more intentional when you take the quiz. Don't forget, I'm not looking for the best score. I'm not even looking for 100% of this. I just want to be sure that you understand the lesson that you are taking, and not really that you understand the lesson that you're taking, you're being honest about the quizzes that you're also taking, and you're not interfering with AI. All right, this is a training, so you want to learn the best ways you can to get the best out of this. All right, this is a training. So think of it like a footballer that goes to the training ground as early as 7 o'clock and does 50 push-ups and 100 raises, right? So allow me to work on you, allow me to introduce you to all the structure that I have in plan to help us get good in SQL. Don't try to fake it. Don't try to push yourself in a way where you're trying to impress anybody. You're not impressing anyone here. You're learning, all right? Irrespective of what you're doing here, trust me, we're all here to learn. So take advantage of it, all right? That's the whole essence of showing you your score, just to make you see what your progress have been. When we are done with the project, I will then combine your assessment with the project, your assessment with the hands-on, your assessment with all the quizzes, and then you will find your first your part 1 grade. All right. So we have 3 parts in this program. We have 3 parts in this program. There's the part 1, part 2, and part 3. Part 1 is where I'm laying the foundation. Part 2 is where I'm sharpening your skills. Part 3 is where using what you've learned to solve problems based on the kind of project you'll be experiencing. All right. So you want to be intentional here. That's what I'm just trying to tell you. All right. Avoid using AI, avoid using, anything that would look like the internet is giving you guide. Be the one to do this for yourself. Be the one to use your head. Even though your score is 40% over 100, trust me, you're here to learn. All right. And if you miss it now, you might struggle when you're on your own. So allow me to do the honors of working on you. Allow me to introduce you to the structure that I have in mind to get the best out of what we're doing. Can we see my screen? Hope network is not a problem for anybody. Hey guys, are we there?
No, we can see. Coach, I have a question.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is on a lighter note. I just want to ask, why is our table not created using SQL? I thought we're supposed to be speaking SQL language in this class.
Okay, I see what you're doing. I'm not going to answer your question. So now the reason why this is a rough sketch, trust me, this is my score that combines everything that you're doing back. All right. So only when I have compiled your first 10, you can now see it more structured. All right. I was talking to Blessing when I sent her this score, and I was trying to have a conversation regarding to what we can do better and how much weight lies in the structure that we have put in place to make this program a success. All right. So this is a study group, and trust me, I have so many ideas, but I'm trying to make sure that I also don't get too many things out there so that everyone can manage the time that they have. When you meet your 10 quiz, don't worry, you will see it in a tabular form. This is just your score for quiz. You're still going to have your score for hands-on. You're still going to have your score for attendance to review call. Yeah, trust me, attendance to review call is also part of your grade. For those of us that also attend review call, I've been taking screenshots all this while. I've been taking screenshots. I've been marking everybody's face. So when you see your score in attendance, just know that you're the one that you don't even help yourself. All right. And then our final grade is going to come up, those that have A plus, A, B plus, B, C, D, E, F. I don't think anybody's going to get an F because so far, I think the effort we put in the quiz is already showing. All right. So that's about that. Any questions so far? I mean, the goal of doing this is to help us to stay inspired. All right. Keep pushing yourself to doing better every day on this study group. Trust me, SQL is going to be your second language if you're able to stay committed and consistent in what we're doing here. I can promise you that. All right. I can definitely promise you that. Now let's talk about the projects. Let's move to the second thing I want us to talk about, the project, the gifts, to be more specific, the gifts, right? And I'm going to send in the score for the quiz for the gifts here. Everyone that went through each level, I'm going to assess you based on the level. All right. I'm going to assess you based on your ability to present, put some comments in your code. For those of us that didn't put your comments, I didn't put the comments. There's a score for that. If you've done me writing in uppercase, there's also a score for that. I'm going to give us the assessments, my score sheets as well, so that we can see what I use to grade our SQL skills. All right. And then there's going to be a correction file. The correction file is where everyone will have their SQL file renamed in their own name. And then you will see some comments that I will put there. When you have comments, try to adjust your query with the comments because it's your correction you're going to post on GitHub. All right. So if I go through your work and I don't see reason to, ask you to do anything or any correction, you will also get a document also saying amazing. You can go ahead to post this on your GitHub. All right. So let's use this opportunity to talk about GitHub because this is going to happen by weekend. So you want to start now to get ready. So let's go to GitHub and let's talk a bit about GitHub. All right, so let's talk a bit about GitHub. Are we still together, guys? Right, let me walk us through GitHub and let's see what's, because moving forward, you're going to be posting you're going to be pushing your query on GitHub, and I don't want a situation where someone comes and say, "Oh, I don't know how to use GitHub." And when I did the poll, I learned that a number of us are not really familiar with GitHub as much as I expect. So I have to take up that responsibility to walk us through GitHub so that this would, I'll be able to get the best out of what I'm looking for here. All right, so let me just restore my page. Nope. All right, so let's get to GitHub, shall we? Now, first of all, GitHub is GitHub. I want to believe everybody has a GitHub account, right? If you have a GitHub account, just raise your hand. Like, raise your hand, just keep your hand up if you have a GitHub account. I just want to see those that their hand is down. I mean, they might be shy to not talk, so let me just ask you not to raise your hand. You have a GitHub account, leave your hand up. You have a GitHub account, leave your hands up. You have a GitHub account, leave your hands up. Okay, blessing, harmony, some two, prayer, vocabulary. Only just us. Any other person have a GitHub account? Jerry,
Yes, I have.
Wallace. Okay. All right. Thank you. You can put your hand down now. All right. So let's then focus more on how do you put your project or your how do you put your query on GitHub? So let's log into my GitHub and see what that feels like. All right. 1 minute. It's taking its time. It's taking its time. It's taking its time. It's time. It's time. All right. So just to help us, just to help me have a perspective of your GitHub, I will want everyone to post their GitHub link on the group. All right. But when you're posting it, the first person that starts, just write one, then put your GitHub. All right. In fact, put your name and then put your GitHub. Put your name and then put your GitHub. Then another person can copy that message, edit it, and add his name. So one, your name, your GitHub repo. I mean your GitHub account, your address to your GitHub account. Number two, your name, your GitHub link. Number three. So just number it so that when I copy that message, I will be able to quickly go through everybody's GitHub. Because I want to go through everybody's GitHub before we push it on GitHub. So if there's anything I need to edit, especially your profile, all right, especially your profile, I'll be able to go through that profile and tell you one or two things that you can do. For those of us that need to put our profile in a more mature way, I'll be able to like address all that. All right. So just send me your GitHub links so that we can start now. I can start now to prepare that before we post our hands-on correction and before we get into the project. All right. Okay, I trust we heard everything I've said. Let's now go to how do you put your project on your GitHub. So the first thing you want to do is to create a repo, right? A repo is a repository. Okay, so the repository is based on what you've just worked on, right? So I'm going to go to the top here where I have create, right here at the top. All right, and if I click the drop down, I have create issue, create new repo, import repo, and the rest of them. So I'm just going to say new repo. All right. Because this is SQL study group hands-on, I'm just going to call it SQL study group hands-on one, because we're going to be doing a lot of hands-on. So you want to do hands-on one. All right. So this is how I want you to create your repo when you intend to post the correction. I might not be able to have a review call before we do that. That's the reason why I'm doing this on the call. Oh, we're not having network issue and we can see my screen here. Hey guys, are we there? Hello.
Yes, how are you?
Okay. All right. So remember what we did. Go to your GitHub and go to your repo. At the top of your GitHub account, you will see create new. You see a drop down, new issue, new repo. Just click on new repo and it will have this. When you're giving it your name, just give it the way the assessment says SQL Study Group Hands-on 1, because we're going to be having different hands-on. All right. Then under the description, you can put the introduction part of the hands-on document. Let's say this is a practice on SQL fundamentals that covers topics across database, schema design. All right, and the rest of them. Okay, so you can just have a little introduction just to give it a title. Of course, you can edit it. Whatever you have there, you can edit it. All right, leave it public so other people can see it added to your work. All right, and if you feel like you're going to have to add a README file, of course, you're going to have it. You're going to add a README file, so you can just activate your README, put it on. All right, other things, don't worry yourself, and then you can go ahead to create the repo. All right, so once you create the repo, it's going to appear like this. So you're going to see SQL Study Group repo, SQL Study Group 1. Then that introduction that we've written before, this is it, yeah. So if I want to add more to my introduction, I can come to this guy and I can edit it. I could say more, I could say more. All right, I could say more if I have more things I want to say. All right, so I'll just cancel the change. Okay, now once I've done that, I can go back to the parents repo and then I can add file. How do you upload file? Let's say you have your SQL file itself and the documents that contain the hands-on. All right, so you just click on add file and then I can do upload file. Okay, and then I can drag the file from my PC. It says choose a file, and then okay, you can see that screen. I'm not presenting my whole screen really. All right, let me present my whole screen. 1 second. All right, let me know if you can see my entire screen. Good. All right, so I'll do that again. So once you come to the section where you clicked add file, just click on choose your file, and then GitHub will try to read your system, and then you can choose wherever the data set. Now, what I want you to upload is I want you to upload the data set that you use for the hands-on. I also want you to upload your SQL query, that's your SQL file, and I want you to upload the documents that you use to do the work. All right, so those are like the 3 things to upload. And then once you've uploaded them, let me just do this for practice sake. All right, so let's say I have this under my download. I think I have study group folder on my system. Yeah, study group 3. These data sets, this image, and all right, so just click on the files you want to upload and then click on open, and they will be uploaded. It's saying uploading 1, uploading 2. So both files have been uploaded. All right, and then I can click on commit change. All right, so once I commit the change, I would notice that the files have been added to my project repo on GitHub. All right, wait for it. Good. So now you can see the data set and the stuff. So let's now build our README file. Now, your README file is where non-technical people are interested in. All right, your README file is where non-technical people are interested in. So you might want to focus on your README file and properly edit it. Okay, so if I click on edit file, the pencil at the edge, I can properly write my README file. There are different ways to write your README files. I might not be able to teach that now, but I'm going to add a YouTube video because of our time on the review call. I'll add a YouTube video on how to write a professional README file. All right. And then you can watch that video and then you'll learn one or two things regarding to formatting your content here. And then that way you should have learned one or two things when it comes to your README. So that's what you're going to be doing once I send the correction to your SQL. All right. That's been said and done. Yeah. Okay. Question. Any question? Question from anyone? I see two hands raised. Okay, your hand is raised. Mobilary, your hand is raised, or your hand is raised based on that stuff we talked about that time. See the way they run.
Exactly.
See the way you guys run. As you raise your hand is a sin. Eh? Say no, we know the one do. I just. All right, so that's just what your project submission should look like. All right, once you've posted it on your GitHub, what I want you to do then is to just share me your project. Like, just send the link to the group. All right, just send the link to the group. How do you get the link to your GitHub? All right, it's already in share, so you could just, yeah, you can literally just take the link from the top here. All right, so you have the link here. Because if you look at the way the GitHub is going to rearrange, it's going to have GitHub, then your username, then your repo name. All right, so you could easily just share that and post it on the group. And then I will go back, I'll come to your GitHub again and check it out. And if there's anything, I would leave a comment. If there's nothing, then we pass. All right, is that clear, guys? All right, so let's go over to let's go over to the project and let me present the project to us. All right, so SQL. Project. Where do I have the folder? So let us the study group. Okay, I think it's inside this folder. All right, so all right, so I'm just going to use this project as a presentation to show you what your project will look like, because all the projects follow the same scenario. All right. Now, if you've not had the chance to work with more than one data, more than one table, get ready, because this is what this project is going to teach you. Like I said, one thing about project is that it exposes your weakness. All right, it exposes areas where you're weak. Now, it's not a bad thing. All right, it's just that you would need all the supports to be able to go through these projects, and you'll be very proud of yourself when you're done with it. I can promise you that you'll be very proud of yourself if you go through this. That's the reason why you need all the support system. You need your team members. You need me. You need, a place where you can always come back and ask who's doing what's doing who, where are we, and all that. So every project is broken down into different phases. For team A, you're going to be working on a library database project. All right, so that's the project, library database project. The goal is for you to design and build a query structure that uses SQL only. All right. You're going to be having three tables: the book records, the members records, and the loan. All right. Let's break it down. So there's the phase one. All right. Then there's the phase two. Each phases will have very clear tasks, very clear tasks. Tasks like create a database, tasks like verify if your database connection is, if your database is connected and if it's active. So the tasks will be very clear. All right. So this should be able to guide you because it's your first project. It's going to be a soft landing. I can promise you that. Your phase two is where you get into the database table design. All right. At first one is your database itself. Phase two is the table itself. So this is where you're going to be, importing your data. All right. Both the book table, the members table, and the loan table. All right. And then there's a suggestion of what you can do. So the instructions are very clear. Track which members borrow which book. All right. You'll be able to print. Of course, to track which member that borrow which book, you just have to do your, first of all, upload your data into your database. Yeah. Then phase three gets into the query. So in phase three, this is where you're writing your basic query. The approach is to use an industry perspective to apply what you've been learning in the past 6 days. All right. So you want to be conscious of that. All right. And if you find any question that is out of the topic, all right, you can easily research about it. But I think the case is rare though. The case is rare. But if you do find it, research about it. Don't come back saying, hey, Timothy, you did not teach us further. Now further is in the query. I don't know how to further. Better push yourself and further. Okay, so that's phase four. Then phase five is where you now bring in your knowledge of, logical operators that we talked about and comparison. And then your phase five is where we now bring in what we learned recently, which is being able to search your data, filter. So all of the things you've been learning, my goal is to bring them into application using a database. So don't worry about, just think of how can you make sense of the query to help solve this problem, which is library database management. All right. Then after your phase five, that's the end of the project. Okay. That's the end of the project. Now, at the end of the day, by completing this project, this is what I'm hoping to help you achieve. So project one is a landing. It's just a soft landing. I promise you, this is a very, very soft landing. All right. So take your time to do the project. The projects are very simple and straightforward. You can even do this in one day. If you know what you're doing, you can do this project in one day, trust me. But then I'm going to give us a week to complete the project. All right. The project is going to take us a week. That does not mean I would not stop giving you your quizzes. So you will take your dose. Your dose will be complete. All right. You still have your dose, meaning we'll still be having topics to learn, but the project will be your side hustle or your side gig. All right. The projects are very simple. I just only wanted to use Team A project to do a presentation so you can see that each project will have a face and each face will have very clear instruction of what you're supposed to do. So you have nothing to worry. So when by tomorrow I will assign, I'm going to do a poll on the team and each member of the team will pick their team lead. The team lead is just someone that is in charge of, passing information, bringing everybody together, asking that we have a general call, and organizing your presentation because you're going to present as a team, not individual, but you're going to do your work individually, meaning you're going to do your work individually and submit to your GitHub individually. Okay, while your slide design or your slide presentation is going to be focused on the team. I have quite a number of interesting industry leaders that I'm going to be bringing on your presentation day. So you're going to, just like those of us that attended the last presentation for the previous edition, that's exactly what your presentation will look like. You will have industry people that would actually, our first project is always industry people, not really technical people. It's the second presentation that you have technical people. So in the first presentation, I'm bringing people that they don't know SQL. They don't know jack shit about SQL. They just want to see you communicate whatever you have done as an analyst to them. And if it makes sense to them, they will score you. If it doesn't make sense to them, they'll tell you, this one you're saying is your business. So I don't know what you're saying. So that way I'm able to achieve your ability to communicate what you've been learning all through the period while on the study group. Okay, so that's about that. The projects are going to be interesting, I promise you, but you have to create time for it. So start now to prepare your mind, all right? Start now to prepare yourself. Today, tomorrow, address your mind. When the project is added on the Google Classroom, please go through it. Right, please go through it. When the project is added to the Google Classroom. Okay, still recording. I wanted to be sure it's still recording. So when the project is added to the Google Classroom, please go through it and ask questions as much as the project is going to be for 1 week. So we are starting the project officially on today is Wednesday. We're starting the project officially on Friday. So it means I'm going to have a call with us on Wednesday to know how we are struggling with the project. So we have Friday. The project will start officially on Friday. So you have the whole of tomorrow to go through the project. I'm going to upload the project tomorrow as early as 7 o'clock. Sorry, as early as 9 o'clock because I have sessions in the morning. So I might not be able to do it in the morning, but I'll do it as early as before 12. Just say before 12. So when the project is added to the classroom, check your team project, go through it, study it, do your research to understand more about the projects, start to create your database, download the data sets so that you can start to look forward to what your queries will look like. All right. And then the remaining things you just work over. Don't forget you have 1 week. I'm going to put all this information I'm making now on the Google Classroom. All right. So you can always go back to the classroom to reread some of the things that we would have said here. Okay, I have 10 minutes more to round up the class. And before I round up the class, I have one more thing to say, but let me ask us questions. Let me get questions from us. Questions regarding to what we've been talking about. Question? Any question regarding to the project? Question regarding to the project. That's why at this point, I want to expect, and I believe that you already know how to import your data. I believe you already know how your database is working, because if it's not, you're going to struggle. I can tell you for free, you will struggle. So those are the two things. Know how to import your data comfortably into your query, into your editor. All right. Know how to let your database be working fine. Okay. The rest will not be a problem. The rest will not be a problem. Any question? All right.
Hi, coach. I just wanted to ask, at
Yeah.
what point do we get to go into the WhatsApp group and all that? I mean, for the project.
Oh, yes. So I would be addressing each team in your WhatsApp group. Okay. It's because you've not joined the WhatsApp group. I will create your team group this night, the team E, so that you can join the group. But if I don't find the people I'm looking for to join team E, I will just add you to another group. All right. Since I think I'll add it to an existing group. Don't worry. Because I'm expecting some people to have joined team E, but they've not. And I don't have the luxury of time to wait. By tonight, I'll close the group of anybody joining, and I would not add any other person or accept any other person. So why don't you join? Oh, I can only you're on group D now. You're on team D. I just saw you're on team D.
Okay. Okay.
Check.
Thank you very
You're
much.
on team D. All right, good.
All right.
So I'm going to create a poll on each of the group tonight so we can pick the person that would, stir up conversation on the group. Then the project will be added tomorrow morning. Project will start officially on Friday. So Friday will be your first day. We have 7 days. So if it starts on Friday, ends next week Friday, we still have Wednesday to have a review call. If you go through this project, you'll be surprised to know that you can do this project in 1 day. Well, I'm intentionally giving us 7 days so that we can manage it with our personal schedule. All right. Any other question? Question. Yeah, Wallace, what's up?
Hello, coach. Could I confirm which group I'm a part of, please?
Oh, yeah, talking about Wallace. Wallace, that's true. So We had a challenge with WhatsApp, right? Because the groups are actually on WhatsApp.
Okay.
Right. So this is what I'm going to do for you. After the call, let's talk. Then I will decide how we can walk through the project. All right.
Okay. Thank you, Coach.
All right. So let's just chat on our platform where we do talk. Okay. Any other question before we call it an evening? It's 5 minutes more. So yeah. I mean, let's go ahead.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir. I don't have a group yet. I think I clicked on Team Hay, then I realized later on that it filled up. So I clicked on Team E again, but I realized that it's not created a link for.
So you were those that joined or choose the team late because team E was designed for late. Anyway, I think what you should do is join team D. Yeah, team D is not complete. I'm looking for one more person to make up the team D is I think team D is team D is complete. Okay, join team D. I
Team
mean
D.
that's join team D. Right. Don't forget the goal of the team is not that your project is team project though. It's just that you have people that will be doing the same project with you that you can ask questions. Not necessarily count on someone to move the team ahead. So I mean, I'm speaking generally now. Everyone is to do the projects individually, but check in on others, right? Ask questions, share feedback, you know, try to know what you're doing is correct, check your query alongside with other members, and then start working on your report. You have 1 week, so it means both your project and your report has to happen in 1 week. So you can split your days of doing the project to 3 days. All right, 3 4 days. Why the remaining 2 days you guys can work around the reports and how you want your report presentation to look like. Okay, so that's what I think the team can do. So try to plan yourself. Once it starts on Friday, that's why from now to Friday, think of all the things that is required to make this project a success. All right, don't forget your team will be graded. Although it's an individual project, you'll still be graded as a team. So when it gets to the presentation, maybe 2 persons can present, maybe 1 person could present, but let it be a team effort. Anyway, your team lead will be responsible for that. Your team lead will be responsible for that. All right, guys. It's 3 minutes more, and I want to dash you the remaining 3 minutes since I've been the one using all the time of the hours in our previous review calls. All right. So, don't forget, share your GitHub. Oh, I see some of us have our GitHub and link. Awesome. All right, so share me your GitHub. Let me see what it looks like. If I have to leave a comment, I'll leave a comment. I'll actually leave a comment for everybody, right? So that we can post our hands-on. Why the project is when you're done with the project as well, you post it on GitHub again. All right, and then you do your presentation, and then we move to the next projects like that. By the end of March, of course, you're gonna be graduating in March, so the program is just for 2 months, February and March. By the end of March, you will be so confident in your SQL skills. All right, and it will be worth your time. I mean, already, I think the program is worth your time so far. Yeah, I promise. Talk to me. What's up?
Good evening, sir.
Hi, good evening.
Hey, Jesus. Okay, you can hear me, right?
Yeah. I hear you clearly.
Okay, so where is sending the GitHub link? Is it on WhatsApp or on this call now?
Oh, no, on WhatsApp. On WhatsApp.
Okay.
Yeah, on WhatsApp. So just look at the pattern that other of your colleagues have been posting it. So your name and then your link. So that because I already know, I think I know everybody's name here. Apart from the fact that I'm seeing your name on the Google Meet call. I know our names. So once I see your profile picture, I know your name, except you want to do me wicked and go and change your profile picture with the head of a shoe, which only God will do. So we can just be wicked. Let me just change this profile picture that confuse Timothy small. Anyway, but I think I know everybody. Just do it on WhatsApp. Don't mind me, Jerry. Just do it on WhatsApp. Okay. All right. So I'm inviting us to the graduation ceremony of our senior colleagues. Yay. All right. I'm inviting us to it's on Sunday by 6 p.m. Let me present the slides. Let me show us the flyer. Let me show us the flyer. They have not seen it, though. Do you know? They have not seen it. You guys have seen it before them. I'm still going to go to their platform and tell them that, hello guys, your graduation is on Sunday. They've not seen it yet. So the presentation, the graduation is on Sunday. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna be giving them certificates, a study group membership badge, right? A badge for their social media. And there's gonna be like a profiling. I'm gonna really talk about everybody and how their journey has been so far. Because I've been monitoring everybody and collecting our learning data. All right. I've been collecting everyone's learning data and I've seen how we've grown. I'm talking to the previous editions, right? So that's something to look forward to. Let me share my screen so that you can see what's the what's the word? What's the invitation? Yeah, the invitation. I'm gonna post it on LinkedIn and I'm going to share the link to the study group so everybody can be a part of it. Okay. So then also, let's even talk about this GitHub thing, sir, because I feel like I want to use this opportunity to build our GitHub page, and I'm very intentional about it. All right. Now let me tell you why you're only seeing 4 faces. All right. 4 of them were able to finish their project presentation. All right. You have 2 projects, a minimum of 2 projects, a maximum of 3 projects on the study group. If you don't do a minimum of 2 projects, you won't graduate. I would not graduate you. All right. That's the rule for the study group. So if you're not taking the project serious, just know that you're just here for year's sake. You're not graduating. So you want to be serious with the study group. All right. First project, second project. I'm not just doing the project, presenting the project. All right. Presenting the project is as important to me as doing the project. So if you do the project that you don't present, that project is for your GitHub, it's not for the study group. All right. Even though the study group is the initiative, for me, it's the presentation because I want to help. I want to see how you're able to communicate what you've done. Data analytics is not just being analytical, it's being, able to relate with other. So this is something I'm looking forward to. So that's what you're seeing for persons that they were actually in number of 30, but some of us could not. But guess what? This platform is going to be what our graduation. I can't wait to graduate us. Your set is actually very exciting. I've learned a lot from your set and I've met a lot of amazing. You want to be in touch with a number of us after this study group. But for now, forget your graduation. Graduation is like 1 month. Focus, do your projects. Yeah. Then we can talk. You met some of them on your first day of class, right? I think you met the 4 of them because the 4 of them, okay, you didn't, oh, you met Esther. Oh, it was Fatima, you guys didn't meet. Yeah. So you met Esther, you met Miriam, and you heard their voice and they told you about how the study group was like for them and some of. Now, if you're going to join the graduation on Sunday, just put on your camera because anybody that you join the call without the camera is not welcome to the graduation. The graduation is strictly camera view. So down, make up your mind that I actually call it camera. All right. I'm gonna put my camera on. Everybody's gonna put their camera on. And it's gonna be like a fun conversation, right? Everyone is gonna talk about the study and how much we've gotten better. And then after the study group, what next? All right. We're gonna be talking about how we're gonna be moving the study group into an SQL fellowship where we can learn, SQL integrated with Excel, SQL integrated with Python, SQL integrated with Power BI, SQL integrated with, Google Query. All right, because Google Query is big data and it's connected with SQL. SQL is the primary language, so we're going to be talking about the advanced stuff, right? And then so that we don't forget everything we've learned in SQL, it's going to be like a weekly exercise file to help us keep practicing our skills till we decide that SQL is not what we want to do again. All right, so that's all I want to talk to us about. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Thank you for creating the time to be on this call. I hope it was your evening. If you have a question, kindly raise your hand and I would try as much as to answer. No question, I guess we can call it an evening. Have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you for creating time to join. Good, take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones as well. And God helping us, we shall see on the morrow. Bye for now.